Okay. So we have to have the answers to the questions people have. Otherwise, people aren't going to trust you. And one of the biggest things that is causing so much hurt is people having sex with multiple partners. Now, the scripture, and it's in the Bible, God created sex. Then He created Himself. He created a wife. And He's like, you're going to love this. I created this for you. Now, of course, I'm going to enjoy it too, but this is amazing. This is one of the greatest things I've created. You're going to love it. There's going to be so much love that you don't. It's amazing. If this were not the case, there would be a lot less people on the earth. You have children through sex. Animals do the same thing. But what happens when a woman has multiple partners is she eventually will develop the thought that there isn't the one that I'm looking for. Same thing will happen if a man has sex with multiple women. It changes. The feelings aren't the same. It turns into, am I using you or are you using me? Let's use each other. Then it becomes evil. Anything not done with love is evil. There's a godly way to do almost anything as long as it doesn't hurt you or anybody else. And the God said, yes, you can do that. That's how you define evil. If God said no, it's evil. That's in the scripture. And Peter said, anything God tells you to do and you don't do it, that's a sin. So, a woman was created to feel cared for, nurtured, secure, provided for, all of these things. A man was created to protect her, secure her, make her feel loved, nourished, all of those things. Taught, led. She has to have faith in him, and when she doesn't have faith in him, it's going to upset him. Because in the back of his mind, he knows that he's usually bigger than her. So he's always careful and doesn't want to physically harm her. She knows that she's smaller than him and hopes that he doesn't physically harm her. So then she develops a mentality that most men won't physically harm her. Then she builds everything off of that. Because she's treated like a princess and a queen. Other men will protect her. She knows that. So she develops a confidence that, okay, men won't physically harm me. That's how it's supposed to be. When you add sex to that, you've also given her a weapon. Since he's bigger than her, she has a different weapon. And it's too often sex gets used as a weapon, as a tool to get the things you want the easy way. Everybody wants love. And once it comes away from that, they're going to be trying to fight their way to get back to love. then they're going to think they went too far and they can't get back to love. But you've always been loved, and you'll be protected. And the scripture says God went straight to Adam. And Adam and Eve are sitting there like, whoa. And this had nothing to do with sex. This had to do with an act of disobedience. Like any loving father, he's like, okay, what happened? And Adam's looking at him like, well, you gave her to me, so technically, and he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. But you got to remember, God was Adam. So God is having a conversation with himself. Like, okay, we knew she was going to do something that we didn't like. All right, we knew that. How are we going to handle it? In the most loving, effective manner so she doesn't hurt herself, because we're all she has. Well, nothing. We're just going to stay with her. We're going to love her anyway. We're going to show her what love is. We're still going to stay with her. We're still going to accept her. She already feels like she did something wrong. Now, she's not going to flat out say that. So we have to address that feeling and just say, it's okay, babe. It's all right. We could still do this. And we'll have children, and they'll run around, and we just don't want this feeling anymore, right? So the next time something happens, and it gives us the choice of, do we want the feeling where everything is perfect, our Garden of Eden, or do we want the feeling of, now it's tainted a little bit? So now we've learned to value not doing that stuff that's going to cause us to not feel close to each other. That's all. That's all we learned. It's okay. Let's do this. And anything that gives you that feeling of taintedness, you don't really want to do. You just don't want to wait. Children are impatient. But God only has perfect things for people. And then once it's you and that perfect person, God's not going to come charging into your bedroom and say, hey, knock it off. There's specific guidelines of things to avoid. But God doesn't think sex is dirty. Marriage is the protective shield around sex. Because without the intimacy and the two people loving each other,